Namaste, everyone. As you all know, this is going to be 22 session series, and Dr. G is with us, and he will be going over the sessions, 22 sessions in 11 weeks. And previously, Dr. G had taught us a lecture about Bhagavad Gita for current current day social life. And in the beginning of this year, he had also taught us 700 shlokas for about more than 120 days. And this is his second session with us, Bhagavad Gita, that is in 2022 for with 22 sessions. And the brief introduction about Dr. G and the program, Suresh Ji will be giving us. Over to you, Suresh Ji.
Namaste, everybody. Dr. G, can you go over to the next slide, please? Yeah. So Dr. G, I think for those of you that were very fortunate, like myself, so I'm Suresh Srinivas. I was very fortunate to take Dr. G's Gita class where we learned, and he taught us the wisdom of the Gita in 100 days. So about Dr. Raju, he's a medical doctor, and he has been practicing for the last 3 decades and lives with his family in Texas. So Dr. Raju has learned the Gita from many gurus, and he has been studying the Bhagavad Gita for over 20 years, and he has been sharing its wisdom as well. So he enjoys traveling, reading, and writing poetry. So you will hear some of his poetry today, and has written poems about the gurus, Mahabharata, Arjuna, Guru Vedavyasa, Bhagavad Gita, and several others. He has published 2 poetry books in Telugu and English, and we are so fortunate to have Dr. Raju take his time and effort to share the wisdom of the Gita with all of us. So welcome, everybody. And Dr. G, if you can go to the next slide. So I'll start with this poem that Dr. G had requested that I write. Meditation on that song. Now let's meditate on that song that was taught in the battlefield by that Supreme, applicable to all of us. Dr. G, 2 slides back, please. That was taught in the battlefield by that Supreme, applicable to all of us who are fighting the war within. Written by the ancient sage, the compiler of the scriptures, in the middle of the epic, the great battle. From that song pours forth the nectar of living the right life in thought and action on that path to realize that Supreme. Thank you, and over to you, Shivranjani Ji, for the prarthana.
Sure. Thank you, Suresh Ji. Ata Dhyanam Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvamanusandadami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Panaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrutaduge Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudirbhokta Dugdham Gitamrutam Mahata Vasudeva sutam devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishmadronatata Jayudrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhanavartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavairananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Parasharyavachas Sarojamamalam Gītārtha Gandhotkatam Nānākhyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamsina Shreyase Mūkam karoti vācālam pangum langayate girim yat krupatamaham vande paramananda madhavam yam brahma varunendra rudra marutastunvanti divyaistavaihi vedai sangapadakramopanishadair gayanti yam samagaha Dhyanavastita tadgatina manasa pashyamti yam yogino yasyantam na vidussura suragana devaya tasmai namaha Shantakaram bhujagashayanam padmanabham suresham Vishwadharam gaganasadrusham meghavarnam shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogibhirdhyanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatham Sarvalokaikanaatham Sarvalokaikanaatham. Over to you, Dr. G.
Namaste. Can you all hear me? Yeah. Namaste.
Namaste, yes.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Gomatre Namaha. Gita Matre Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Sabhayai Namaha. So this session is the first of next 21 sessions, 22 including this one. So we will go over Gita Dhyanam today. And the last session would be Gita Mahatmyam, the glory of Bhagavad Gita, which Shivaranjani ji or someone will chant at the end of today's session. So the format would be every day we will have Gita Dhyanam, and at the conclusion we will have Gita Mahatmyam, and also the same will follow with the sessions. We will have 18 chapters, and we should have 18 sessions, but second chapter and 18th chapter are very long, so we will have to split into two each of them. So that would be 20 for 18 chapters, plus one introduction, and the last one is conclusion. Each session, we plan to limit it to an hour, including introduction and conclusion. At the end of this, there will be a question and answer session for 15-20 minutes. If there is interest, that will not be recorded, I think. Now, I just want to salute all gurus. There are so many of them. because of whom I am here and sharing this with all of you. With the grace of Lord Krishna and the grace of Mother Gita, and by the grace of Vedavyasa and Guru Shishya Parampara, which has carried on this immortal, eternal knowledge to us and for the generations. Many, many generations for future. The grandeur of Gita, it is inscribed by Ganesha, described by Vedavyasa, inquired by Dhritarashtra, enjoyed by Sanjaya, inquired by Arjuna, imparted by Sri Krishna, witnessed by Hanuman, practiced by wise men. Gita, the song celestial, for all of us, a life's manual. To know the life, to know the self, to see the world, to see the Lord, read or write, sing or chant, listen or learn. Gita, my friend, share it any which way and every which way. It shall enrich your mind. It shall unfold the world. To go beyond I, me, and myself, my friend, let Gita enter into your life. When I address my friend, so I am part of all of you. So it is teaching myself while I share this with you. And let her express through your work. Then the life shall spark with the divine mark. Gita, G-I-T-A, means Gita in today's action. G-I-T-A means Gita in thought and action. That's what we will go through in next 20 plus sessions. Sing the Holy Scripture on this earth and follow it even a bit with faith. Then the joy of life shall spring forth. The light of knowledge shall shine forth. Whether it is a path of action or devotion, path of knowledge or meditation, each one enriches the other. Each one merges into the other. My friend, salute Gita, the mother of all scriptures. Salute Sri Krishna, the father of all creatures. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. I'll go to the next slide. So Gita Dhyanam. Today we'll be going over 10 verses. But Gita Dhyanam traditionally consists of 9 verses. And we do not know for sure, but many think Madhusudana Saraswati, a saint from 16th century, has put these together. And some of these are not his original, as you would see. A verse is taken from Krishnastakam and so on. So Madhusudana Saraswati has written a great commentary called Gudhartha Deepika, a lamp Deepika, which illumines the hidden Gudha and deeper meanings, Artha, of Bhagavad Gita. It's very lucid and very, very profound. And the first verse goes like this. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Astadashadhyayanim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshanim. That which was taught to Arjuna by Lord Narayana himself, which was written by the epic sage Vyasa in the middle of Mahabharata. O Mother Goddess, who showers the nectar of Advaita called Bhagavad Gita, which has 18 chapters, I meditate on you, O Mother, the remover of all our past karma. Om. Om is such an auspicious word for us. Omkarascha Atha Shabdascha. So Dvavetau, these are Mangalika. So these two are the first verse which came out of Brahmaji. Dvavetau Brahmanapura kancham bhitva viniryatau. Tasmat mangalikara ubhau. So Omkara, we will be dealing with Omkara as we go through in 8th, 9th, and also in 17th chapter. Parthaya pratibodhitam. That which was taught to Arjuna, Parthaya. Partha, Pruthaputra is Partha. Prutha is Kunti Devi. Kunti Devi's another name is Prutha. So all the 5 Pandavas are Parthas. And not only that, any Prithvi Putra, anyone who is born on this mother Prithvi is Partha. So that is you, me, and everyone. Parthaya. Pratibodhitam. So specifically taught for Arjuna, specifically taught for each one of us. Pratiparthaya bodhitam. Pratiparthaya bodhitam. Bhagavata, by Bhagavan himself, Bhagavat Shabda. So Bhagavan is the one who has this group of characteristics called Bhaga. Bhaga, there are 6 great qualities which constitute Bhaga. Aishwaryasya samagrasya. Aishwaryasya samagrasya. Dharmasya yashashashriyaha. Jnana vairagya yoschaiva shanna bhaga itirina. Samagra Aishwarya. Dharma. Yashas. Shriya. Shriya means prosperity. Jnana, knowledge. Vairagya. Vairagya is detachment while being engaged. So that is Vairagya, Vishesha Raga and Vigata Raga. So that constitutes Bhaga. And whoever has these 6 great qualities is called Bhagavan, like Dhanavan. Narayana, by Narayana himself. Nara means knowledge. Nara means the jivas, all of us, all living beings. Ayanam, the abode of all living beings. The abode, the treasure house of all knowledge. So by himself, Swayam. And this was written by the sage, the greatest of the sages, which we will talk about in a minute, Vyasa Maharshi. Vyasena Grathitam. So it was put in the text form by Vyasa Maharshi. Purana Munina, the ancient sage, by the ancient sage. So Manana Shilaha iti Muni. Purana, ancient, but Purana doesn't mean that ancient which is not pertinent to the current times. So Pura api nava iti Purana. Even though ancient, it is ever pertinent. So it's ever aging, but never old. Ever aging, but never old. Mahabharate madhye Mahabharatam. In the middle of Mahabharata, so in Bhishma Parva, it is embedded. Advaita Amrita Varshanim, the nectar of Advaita, non-dual philosophy. Bhagavati. So Bhagavan is a masculine and Bhagavati is a feminine form. So Bhagavati, Bhagavad Gita. Ashtadasha Adhyayinim. Bhagavad Gita, the text has 18 chapters. And we'll go through, when time permits, the essence and the meaning and the significance behind these 18. So 18. To be succinct, 18 is an indication for Jaya. So 18, 8 plus 1 becomes 9. And 9 is the highest number. And this 18 indicates Jaya, the victory, the success. Amba, O Mother, Twam, the Anusandadhami, I contemplate upon. O Bhagavad Gita, O Bhavadveshani, O the remover of all our deficiencies, all our defects, all our mistakes, all our errors in our life, and all the deficiencies that we are born with as a package. Then salutation to Vyasa Maharshi, salutation to the author who has put Bhagavad Gita in the text form. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradeepa. Salutations to Vyasa, who has immense intellect, who has eyes like petals of lotus flower, who has filled up the oil of the lamp of Mahabharata and lighted it to pinpoint wisdom. Salutations. Namaha astu, Namaha astu, Namostu, te to you. Namaste, we say, Namaha plus te. Salutations to you, Namaste. So, Namostu, so let there be salutations. Te to you, O Vyasa. Vyasa means editor-in-chief, the one who compiled Vedas. So, hence he is called Veda Vyasa, the editor-in-chief. His name is Krishna Dvaipayana, but he is well known all through the world as Vyasa Maharshi, Vyasa, or Veda Vyasa, or Vyasa Bhagavan. So Vyasa Bhagavan, Om Namo Bhagavate Vyasa Devaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya, Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. So Vyasa is considered as an incarnation. Otherwise, this wouldn't have been possible. Visala Buddhi, immense intellect, the one who can see the horizon behind this earth, hell and heaven, no borders. It's beyond the borders, beyond the borders. These are the authors, sages without borders. Pulla Aravinda Ayata Patra Netra, Pulla Aravinda, fully blossomed. Ayata, Patra Netra, like the leaves of the lotus. His eyes are like lotus flower. Lotus is an indication of the knowledge. So their vision is so immense and so wide. It is for not only horizontally spread, but longitudinally spread as well. For generations to come, they will cherish and flourish with the teachings of Vyasa Maharshi, who has filled up Yenatvaya Purnaha, the oil, Taila, to the lamp of Mahabharata. Bharata. So this lamp, Pradipaha, is Jnanamaya, endowed with wisdom. Jnanamaya Pradipaha. Deepa is lamp. Pradipa is that Prakrishta lamp from which other lamps are lit up. So Jyoti se Jyoti Jagate Jalo. So that Pradipa, which is endowed with Jnana, Jnanamaya Pradipaha. And what is the oil used? Mahabharata is the oil which has been used. So Mahabharata is used as the oil. And it was lit up by Vyasa Maharshi, Prajwalitaha. So it is so luminous for the entire world, for generations to come. So here is a painting in Jaipur palace. As you can see, Vyasa Maharshi and Ganesha, Bhagavan Ganesha, for Vyasa's diction. He needed a scribe who could do it relentlessly without taking a break. So Ganesha agreed upon request of Brahmaji. It is all written there, not only in that palace and also in Ganesha Guha and Vyasa Guha in Himalayas. And by the grace of Maharshi, Vyasa Maharshi and Krishna Bhagavan and Gita Mother, I just had the fortune of visiting them last month. So Ganesha agrees, but he puts a condition. Vyasji, you have to dictate without taking a break. And so Vyasa Maharshi, of course, Tata, so he is no less, aapse badkar hum. So Vyasa Maharshi also puts a condition that, sure, but you should write understanding every verse I dictate. So once in a while, when Vyasa Maharshi needs a break, or when I guess his wife calls for dinner or lunch, so no, there is no wife, as you can see. So I'm just in a lighter sense. So when he needs a break, so he would throw a grande shloka, a verse which is very difficult to understand unless someone explains it, unless someone contemplates for a longer time. So that is the story which is written there. Then sage Vyasa, let's pray to him, Vyasa Bhagavan, who is an icon, an extraordinary human, an accomplished mission, a universal institution. Salutations to Vyasa, who is an icon, a great sage with greater passion, the God incarnated here for our salvation, the master who sorted Vedas with fourfold vision, the author who gifted us Mahabharata, an epic narration, the poet who sang the magnum opus Bhagavatam in contemplation, the prophet who gave us Brahma Sutras, supreme principle collection, the preacher who told us 18 Puranas and Upapuranas, the stories and glories of Lord, the teacher who benefited all men and women, generation after generation, the saint to whom we cannot even offer enough tribute, the seer who could see beyond the horizon, far above earth and heaven, the guru who dispelled the darkness of ignorance, lighting in us the light of knowledge and bliss. Salutations to that mighty personality, an embodiment of supreme divinity, a guide and abode for entire humanity with clarity, sanctity, and versatility, the epitome of sacrifice and great entity, who served as a universal university. Salutations to that mighty personality, an incarnation of Almighty. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now, next verse is contemplating on none other than Krishna Bhagavan. Krishna Bhagavan, the Veda Vedya and the author of Bhagavad Gita. Prapanna parijataya totra vetraikapanaye jnana mudraya krishnaya gitamrita dukhe namaha. Salutations to Krishna, who is a wish-giving tree, who holds a cane to drive the cattle, the horses of the chariot, who also shows the seal of jnana, jnana mudra, and gave us all the nectar of Gita. Prapanna Parijataya. Parijata is a Parijata Vriksha, the wish-fulfilling tree. I had the fortune of seeing this Parijata Vriksha for the first time in my life. It is in Joshimath, and it is said Adi Shankaracharya planted this. So Joshimath, just before going to Badrinath. So Parijata, Prapanna Parijata. So whoever seeks the shade of this Parijata, it offers the shelter and it bestows the blessings. In the same way, Krishna is. And how is he? To meditate on this Krishna, we all will get the strength and the wisdom at our workplace. Totra vetra ekapanaye and jnana mudraya. Totra vetra, the cane, or the gourd in one hand. Ekapani, in one hand, there is gourd. And with the other hand, there is Jnana Mudra. You do not see any other god with these two postures or gestures. You will see Rama with arrow and bow. He is ever ready to protect us. And then Abhaya Hasta. Shiva, maybe with Trishul or meditating form. But Krishna, here you see, imparting the knowledge while engaging in action. Imparting the knowledge while engaging in action. So this is a lesson for all of us that Bhagavad Gita is not after retirement, not when we have the whole of our time after the work is done in our life. It is in the field of work. That's what we need. This wisdom is needed at work, during work, while work. And this is the message. Krishna. Krishna is such a beautiful word. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. So one namaskara to Krishna is Dasa Aswamedhas is equal to Dasa Aswamedhas. Dasa Aswamedhas, even if you perform, you may be born again. But Krishna Pranami na jayate kvachit. So that then there is no punarjanma. That means we do not go back to our past. So that is Krishna. And Krishna name is such a beautiful name that Karshati iti Krishna. It is all attractive, attracting. So Karshati, Akarshati, the one who attracts everyone. And Krishna Varnat, black, the dark color, the dark, beautiful blue hue. So that is Krishna Varna. So dark, black attracts everything. And not only that, Krisha Bhodhatu Naha Nivritti Dhatu. So Krish is the gourd in the hand. Totrave Traika Panaye. Naha is Nivritti, so withdrawn. So engaging fully in the action with total detachment. So that Nivritti Vachakaha. So that Jnana Mudra. So that is Krishna Bhagavan. So Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dugdha Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. All Upanishads are the cows, and Krishna is the one who milks them. Arjuna is the calf. The devotees are the consumers of the great nectar of Gita. Sarva, all Upanishadaha Upanishads. Upanishad, Upa means near. So Nishat means Nischayena Shat. So you remove all your ignorance by being seated near the Guru. So that is Upanishad. That is how the Upanishads are taught. So all Upanishads, if they are compared to the cows, or a cow, as you can see the beautiful Mother Gita there, who is the embodiment of all Upanishads, and Krishna Bhagavan Dogdha, the milkman, Gopala Nandanaha, so the beautiful child of that Nanda and Gopala. Go means cows. Go means dharma. Go means bhumi. Go means Vedas. So the one who protects, the one who rules all these is Gopala. So Gopala Nandanaha, the one who pleases everyone. And who is the calf? Parthaha Vatsaha. So Arjuna is the calf. So we know how much the calf gets. And the lion's share comes to Sudhi, the great men and women who enjoy the nectar of Gita. Gitamritam is the milk, so which is milked by Lord Krishna. So here is this beautiful painting, which is, I think it's Simaji, so, or I might have said wrongly. So this has been the original painting which I saw in Udupi, Gita Bhavan, Udupi Gita Bhavan. So it is a beautiful painting, as you can see, all Upanishads depicted as Mother Cow and Arjuna, Vatsa, and Krishna, Dogdha. Next verse number 5. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. So Vasudeva Sutta, the son of Vasudeva. That's why it's called Vasudeva. But there is another deeper meaning of Vasudeva. Vasanata Vasudevasya Sarvabhuta Nivasaha. Sarvabhuta Nivasosi Vasudeva Namostute. So the one who dwells in all beings is Vasanam. Vasanam is dwelling. So the one who lives in all beings is Vasudeva, and in whom all beings dwell is Vasudeva. So Narayana, as we said, Narasya Ayanam, Narasya Ayanam. So similarly, so Vasanat Vasudevasya Vasitam Te Jagatrayam Sarvabhuta Nivasosi Vasudeva Namostute. So that Vasudeva Sutta, Deva, Dyotanat iti Deva, the one who has that great luminosity and the wisdom of knowledge. Kamsa Chanura Mardanam, the one who killed Kamsa and Chanura. Kamsa, we know, the king Kamsa, who was so atrocious, who killed all the 7 siblings of Krishna before Krishna was born, and who jailed Devaki and Vasudeva. And Chanura is that wrestler who was actually ordered to kill Krishna, but Krishna in turn killed both of them. And the one who gave the divine joy to Devaki Devi, Devaki Paramanandam, Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. So here, if you go a little deeper than what it says, Vasudeva Sutta, the one who is a son of Vrishni, or that Vasudeva clan. So that is one. So the one who has done good to the clan he was born. And Devaki Paramanandam, the one who has given the ultimate joy to his mother. So this is something which we should teach to our children. The one who took care of his parents first, his family next. Then Kamsa Chanura Mardanam, for the sake of community, for the sake of the kingdom, he has killed Kamsa and Chanura. There is one more layer of this meaning. Kamsa means Dvesha. He hated. And Chanura is a wrestler. Like in Dangal movie, as you see the wrestlers, even if you go away from them, they come to you. So it is Raga. So Raga and Dvesha were killed by Krishna. Then only one can become a guru. And that guru is not just an ordinary guru. He's Gurur Guru, is Guru of Gurus. And he is Jagat Guru. So Jagat, Jayate Gachate. Jayate, the one who is born, Gachati, and then Jagat Jagayamanam. So Swami Chinmayananda says, Jagat Jagayamanam, the one who is revolving and then going on and on. So forever is Jagat. So that Jagat. And Guru for the entire universe. And Guru for eternal times. He was the Guru of the past, present, and the future. So that is Jagat Guru, without any discrimination of race, gender, color, place. So his teachings are applicable to anyone and anywhere. So that is Krishna. Then, now this beautiful simile of a river. And look at this. Bhishmadrona tata jayadratha jala gandhara nilotpala selya grahavati krupena vahani karnena velakula aswathama vikarna ghora makara duryodhanavattini sotirna khalu pandavai rananadi kaivartaka kesavaha. Bhishma and Drona were 2 banks of this river. Jayadratha was the water. Shakuni, the king of Gandhara, is a blue lotus. Selya, the crocodile. Kripa, the tide. Karna, mighty wave. Aswathama and Vikarna were dangerous alligators. And Duryodhana, whirlpool. And the Pandavas crossed this river of war with Krishna as the helmsman or the boatman. Bhishma Drona Tata. Bhishma and Drona were the Tata, the 2 banks of this river. Jayadratha was the waters. Jayadratha was a very powerful leader, king. Shakuni is a blue lotus. Blue lotus looks beautiful but very poisonous. Selya, the crocodile. Krupa, Vahani. Karna, Velakula, the mighty wave. Aswathama and Vikarna are Ghora Makaras, the dangerous alligators. And Duryodhana is Avartini, the whirlpool. So Sa Uttirna. So that Nadi, which Nadi? Rana Nadi. Rana Nadi, the river of battlefield. And this battlefield is compared to that river, as you could see now, these great characteristics which have been described, which we encounter in our life at work or out of work. We'll encounter these people again and again in our lifetime. If you have not, you will. So that Nadi, Sa Nadi, Uttirna, by Pandavas could cross it with the help of Kaivartaka. Kaivartaka is Kaivat. Kaivat is a boatman. So Kesavaha. So Kesava is another name for Lord Krishna. It's such a great name, Kesava. Kesava embodies the Trinity, the name. The name has all three gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So Kascha, Ascha, Ishascha, Kesavaha. Ka means Brahma, A means Vishnu, and then Isha. So Kaha plus Isha plus Vaha. So you could see that. So Kascha, Ascha, Ishascha is Kesava. So this small story in Ramayana, when Rama had to cross Sarayu Nadi, Guha helps. So Rama wants to give something in return to Guha. And Guha says that, well, I helped you cross this river, but you helped me cross the Bhavasagara, the ocean of this life. So such a boatman we have. All we have to sit comfortably in that boat and he'll take us. Next one. It's on Bhagavad Gita or Mahabharatam. Parasharya vachasarojam amalam Gitaartha gandhotkatam Nanakyanaka kesaram Harikatha sambodhana bodhitam Loke sajjana shatpadaira haraha pepiyamanam muda Bhuyad bharata pankajam kalimala pradvamsina shreyase. Let the lotus flower of Mahabharata, which arose from the water, which are the words of son Parashara Maharshi's son Parasharya, and which has Gita Artha Gandhotkatam. So the filaments are the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And Nanakyanaka Kesaram, and all these filaments are beautiful stories endowed with Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam, the stories and glories of Hari. So Harir Harati Papani, the one who takes away our deficiencies and defects and problems and issues is Hari. Hari Harati Papani. So Haririti Aksharadvayam. So these two words are such great words, I said by Prahlada. So Harihi Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam. So Loke, in this world, they're enjoyed by the bees, honey bees. So which are Shatpada are Sajjanas. Sajjana Shatpadai. Ahaha, day by day. So Pepiyamanam Muda, and they are enjoying, drinking this nectar and with so much of happiness. So such a lotus of Mahabharata, may that remove all the ills of Kali Yuga or this era or this age. So let the lotus flower of Mahabharata, which arose from the waters, which are the words of son of Parasharya, which has the pollen grains of different stories, and the essence of Bhagavad Gita, taught in the form of stories of Lord Vishnu, that is drunk by the honeybee of very good people. So may that Mahabharata lotus Pankaja help those who want to remove the ills of Kali Yuga, Kali Dosha. And the 8th verse, Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande paramananda madhavam. I salute that Madhava, the source of supreme bliss, whose grace makes the dumb man eloquent and the cripple cross mountains. So if you want example, there is one sitting right in front of you. Mukam karoti vachalam. I could not speak a word on Bhagavad Gita. And now I'm able to share this with some confidence given by my teachers and the organizers and you all, like Bhoja Raja. You know, when Bhoja Raja is there, anybody could write the poetry instantly, it seems. So you all are like Bhoja to me. So Mukam karoti vachalam. So that one who makes the dumb very eloquent. Pangum langhayate girim. So the one who can make the cripple cross the mountains. Again, by his grace, you know, so I could climb up to Himalayas and I could circumambulate Mount Kailash, even with all the problems, given problems. So Yat Krupa, so by whose grace, Tam, him, Aham Vande, I salute. Parama Ananda Madhavam, the one who is the supreme bliss himself. So he's the embodiment of supreme bliss and he's Madhava. Madhava is another epithet for Krishna. And if you dwell on this name, it's Madhava is the one who is known through Mauna and Dhyana and Yoga. Maunat, Dhyanat, Yogat, Cha, Mam, Vidhi, Pandava. Krishna himself says, you can only know me through Mauna, Dhyana and Yoga. So Madhava, so that Madhava, we salute. And last verse. Yam Brahma Varunendra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyana Vasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. I salute him who is worshipped by divine chants by Brahmaji, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, and Vayu, who is pleased by singers of Samaveda, by singing Vedas and Upanishads, by following the word sequence Krama, Ghana, who is seen by yogis who are absorbed in him, with their mind merging in him, and whose end is not known even by Devas and Asuras. I salute him. Tasmai Namaha, him, Tasmai. So Tat Shabda, and in the fourth case becomes Tasmai. So to him I salute. Who is that? Yamma, him, Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Maruta, Sunvanti. Brahma, Varuna Deva, Indra, Rudra, and Vayu, Marutdeva, Stunvanti, worship. Divyaistavaihi, with divine chants. Vedaihi sa anga pada krama upanishadaihi gayantiyam samagaha. Samagaha, the Sama Pandits, chant these Vedas according to pada, krama. So they worship. And yogis, yoginaha, how do they pashyanti, how do they visualize him? Dhyana avasthita tadgatena manasa pashyanti. So they see him in their contemplation with their mind absorbed in him. And whose end? Antam. Antam means Adi also. We do not know Adi. We do not know Anta. So we do not know Anta. That's why he is called Ananta. Yasya Antaha na asti. Saha Anantaha. So not only Anta, Adi. So Anadyanta, Anadyanta. Anadhinidhanam Vishnum Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So that whose end and beginning is not known to Suras and Asuras. Suras, Susturati, the ones who dwell in giving happiness to others, and they are happy forever. They are happy and they give happiness to everyone. That is Sura, Susturati. Asura, Asushurati, the one who is so selfish the I, me, myself guys are asuras. So neither of them know his beginning or end. So to him, I salute. And this is not part of it, but we included, Guru Gulu has included this. So we'll go over this our next 3 or 4 minutes. Shantakaram, Bhujakashayanam, Padmanabham, Suresham, Vishwadharam, Gaganasadrisham, Meghavarnam, Shubhangam, Lakshmi Kantam, Kamalanayanam, Yogir Dhyanagamyam, or it's also said Yogi Bhirdhyanagamyam, Vande Vishnum, Bhavabhayaharam, Sarvalokaikanaatham, Sarvalokaikanaatham. This is also a meditative shloka before Vishnu Sahasranama is chanted. So you can see, although it says Vishnu, but it's not really Vishnu. It is that supreme consciousness. So Vishnu means Visati iti Vishnu. The one who is all-pervading is Vishnu. So whomever we call God, Allah, Lord, Bhagavan, so that is all-pervading supreme consciousness. So that is Vishnu. Visati iti Vishnu. But now we have given that Nirakara a Sakara. In that Sakara, now we are contemplating. So one day we bow, one day I bow, I salute, we salute. Who? The ever peaceful, Shantakaram. So Shantam, Prapanchopashamam Shantam. So that ultimate peace when all these worldly worries end, Shantakaram. So his form is full of peace. So it's embodiment of peace, Shantakaram. Bhujaga Shayanam, the very Bhujaga. Bhujaga means serpent. The one which goes with its shoulders. You know, there are no feet for snake, you see. So it just kind of propels with the shoulder, Bhujaga. So serpent. The very word serpent, snake, so is very worrisome and very scary. But the one who is actually reclining on Bhujaga, and Bhujaga is a Bhushanas for Shiva also. And he is now reclining. That means who is so comfortable in the midst of all worries or all vices. The vices are all of anger, desire, greed. So all these are like snakes. All the vices are like snakes. All the problems or difficulties are, the encounters are like snakes. So that Bhujaka Shayanam, the one who is so very comfy, Mr. Cool. Padmanabham. So from his navel came the lotus. So Padma is lotus. So lotus is indicative of knowledge and the universe. Suresham, the Lord of all suras we talked about. Vishwadharam or Vishwakaram. So the basis of all this Vishwa, or who is the form of this Vishwa. Gagana Sadrisham. So the one we cannot compare, but if we have to compare, so Gaganam, Gaganopamam. So we can compare sky with sky only. So that vast. Meghavarnam. So the color is the blue hued. We talked about that blue hue, the dark color which attracts everyone and very ready to shower all the blessings. Shubhangam, whose body parts are all these, the universal parts, the mountains, the fields, the lakes, the oceans are all his body parts. Lakshmi Kantam, the concept of Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is eightfold Lakshmi. So Adi Lakshmi, Dhana Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi, Vidya Lakshmi, Gaja Lakshmi, Jaya Lakshmi, Tapa Lakshmi, and Santana Lakshmi, and so on. So Vijaya Lakshmi. So all these Lakshmi Kantam, Kamalanayanam, whose eyes are like lotus, who has wide vision. Yogi Bihi Dhyanagamyam, the one who can be reached by yogis in their meditation, as we just talked about. So that Vishnu, all-pervading, who is Hara of Bhavabhaya, so the fear of the worldly things. And he is Ekanatham, the one and only of Sarvaloka. So the one and only master of all this world. So Allah Malik. So Allah Malik, Sabka Malik Ek. So that one master. So that is what we call here as Vishnu. So that concludes the 9+1 verses which we talked about. An entire Bhagavad Gita is is expansion of this great Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, Tat Tvam Asi. So Tat means that, Tvam means thou, Asi. So thou art that. So that is you. And we will talk about that in next few chapters. So I shall conclude here, and we will do Gita Mahatmya, and we will have questions and answers after the recording is stopped. So salute that Bhagavad Gita. Thou art that is the essential teaching of Gita. Realize that is a soulful message of Guru. I am that is a blissful experience and goal in life. So we will go through this in next few sessions. We'll go through Gita for Gita to go through us. Shubham Bhuyat. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om. Om. Om.
अथ गीता महात्म्यम् गीता शास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णो पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकादिवर्जितः गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्म कृतानि च मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनं गीता सुगीता कर्तव्या किमन्यै शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधिर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतं मेको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृतिस्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Thank you so much, Dr. G, for the wonderful session. Thank you all for